Good morning, everybody. It is the day one of my crazy adventure, and I am getting my daily walk in. Decided to get started early. It's going to be a long travel day today, and I still want to be as active as I can for this trip. Hopefully, this sounds well. I'm literally just on my iPhone and my AirPods, whatever they're called. Let's go get this day started. First tip of this series: make sure you test your equipment and you're happy with how it's performing before you start making content, because sometimes you might get something that you think will be fine, like these AirPod Pros, and then you do a whole video and then you listen to it in the audio in the editor and you're like, that was terrible. Simple tip of the day: test your equipment.
A few hours later.
We couldn't have asked for a nicer morning to go to the airport. Carolyn and the kids dropped us off at the curb. I'm actually really missing them already. I thought that a fun way to document our trip was to collect stickers from each of the locations we stopped at. I think this Portland sticker works out just fine. Our first flight was to Denver. Got on the plane and we're about ready to push off. This was probably the shortest of our flights this adventure. The Rockies were amazing and it was such a peaceful flight. We had a short 2-hour layover in Denver, so that was enough time to get some lunch and find the next sticker. Made it to Denver, about 2 hours here before we take off and head to Miami. That is our next stop, and we're looking forward to making it there. We'll be arriving in Miami around 10:30 at night, so it'll be quite the late flight. Had some issue with the ticketing, so I'm just now getting on board. Mom has saved us a row, so hopefully there'll be no more issues for this trip. Our next flight is to Miami, and this is a 3.5-hour flight. There, we will be meeting up with my sister and her family. All right, I have two very hilarious tales to tell you from this trip. If you're traveling with water bottles, make sure you're cautious when you're 35,000 feet in the air. When I was in the air on my second flight, I opened my water bottle to take a drink of water, and lo and behold, the spout of water that came out of my water jug was about 2 feet above my head while I was sitting down. My mom saw it and thought it was absolutely hilarious. I'm just sitting there soaking wet. The lady that was sitting across the aisle from me grabbed a tissue so that I could somewhat dab off the extra water from me. It just made for quite the experience. On the second flight, we had this just hilarious moment where you're listening to crew members get the plane ready to go. They usually use normal English. Well, this time they were like, "Okay, check." The way they were talking was so fast and so abrupt. We were just like, wait, what? They all knew what they were saying. It was absolutely hilarious to hear them make these call outs. Comment below if you have ever had any funny experience like that. It was bananas, to say the least. Tomorrow is the big day where we fly out of the United States. Comment below if you have any guesses as to where we are traveling. Well, it's late and I need to go to sleep. Join me next time as we hop on to our next flight.